Now, I have to admit, potent offenses are fun to watch. There's something just so fascinating of watching a great quarterback or a great wide receiver. While they are on the same team and their chemistry is great, that just intrigues all of us. These teams tend to trend on the top sporting networks, whether it's the highlight reel or the analysis. I think a lot of people tend to buy in on these teams, and for good reason, because some seasons they're good enough to reach the Super Bowl, and sometimes they can even win it. However, though, these teams sometimes struggle to win in the postseason. Do these teams choke? Depends on the team. Do these teams struggle to finish the job? For the most part, yeah. Plenty of teams that win the Super Bowl usually have a quality offense. However, though, some of the teams that just focus on the offense and kind of think defense is secondary usually tend to fail in the postseason. To say all these teams choke might be going too far, but one thing I can definitely say that a lot of these teams don't come through in the clutch. If you don't believe me, look at this evidence. If you look at all the Super Bowl champions, a lot of them had defenses of some kind for the most part. If you look at the dynasties, a lot of them had defenses, whether it's the Green Bay Packers, Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, or New England Patriots. These teams tend to win, while a team similar to the San Diego Superchargers of the 80s, that team didn't even reach a Super Bowl. You feel like they would, especially when they had such a great theme song.
San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers, San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers, Chargers.
When it comes to their antithesis defensive teams, they usually come up more clutch than the offensive teams. Sure, you usually need to have both to win a Super Bowl, but if I had to pick one that was more likely to win it, it would probably be the defensive team over the offensive team. Look at this past season. The Rams got out of the first round, while the Jaguars made it to their conference championship game. The 2009-2010 Jets both made it to the conference championship game without a single bye week. The 2002 Bucks were definitely a team that made a fantastic run through the playoffs. When it comes to offenses, I feel as if that they can make runs to the playoffs, but it's far more rare, and they usually do need some form of a defense to win it all. When it comes to the offensive teams that have won the Super Bowl, they either had an underappreciated defense or faced a team in the Super Bowl that just wasn't so great. When the Saints won it in 2009, they faced the choke artist Indianapolis Colts. That defense might have not been ranked well for the Saints, however though, it was definitely physical and it definitely got turnovers. Speaking of the Colts, when they beat the Chicago Bears, the Bears' best offensive players didn't even play offense. Plus, that Colts defense definitely got hot at the right time. When the 1999 Rams won the Super Bowl, they faced the Tennessee Titans, which were an expansion team at the time. You might be saying that the 2011 Giants had a poorly ranked defense and had a better ranked offense and that team came through clutch. Well, let me refute you with this. Who are you more intimidated by? Osi Umenora, Jason Pierre-Paul, Justin Tuck, or Eli Manning, Victor Cruz, and Hakeem Nicks? I think it's safe to say that the Giants had better players on the defensive side of the ball. When it came to the John Elway Denver Broncos, they struggled to win a Super Bowl until they got a defense. The New England Patriots early on in their career under Bill Belichick, yeah, they won plenty of Super Bowls, but once they lost that defense, they went through a 10-year drought, and then once they got their defense back, they were back to their winning ways. And then if you look at Aaron Rodgers' Green Bay Packers, sure, they've been successful, but they haven't won a Super Bowl since 2010, which is the last time they've had a good defense. And look at the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. They haven't won a Super Bowl in nearly 10 years, and that's because the defense has been on the decline for them. Is this because they get so much hype that once they reach the Super Bowl, they get the mentality that,
probably crap my pants?
or is it because the fact that they win by such a high margin of victory, once the competition gets better in the postseason, they can't win by as many points, so essentially when the gap closes, they don't know how to win a close game. Is it because they load up too much on the offensive side of the ball that they become a one-dimensional football team? To be honest, I think it's all of the above. Now, when it comes to a lot of offensive teams, there actually was a clutch team that was very potent on the offensive side of the ball, and it was the 1999 Rams, and essentially when it comes to Kurt Warner, he absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. In his first Super Bowl, he was absolutely clutch. But when it comes to his last two Super Bowls, I don't think people give him enough credit for how clutch he was. When he was facing the New England Patriots, a lot of people forget he was rallying back into that game before the Adam Vinatieri field goal kick. And it's the same thing for San Antonio's touchdown catch. He essentially got an extremely clutch touchdown. Sure, saying defense wins championship might make you sound like a dad, but there's a lot of truth to it.
When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in rivers. We're coming your way. We're gonna dazzle you with our play.